Oh no. What terrible heartburn I have. This is killing me. But I am confused on which drug would better treat me. Nexium, or Prilosec. What are the differences between them?
Well, to thoroughly answer your question, I must first teach you about isomers and chirality in molecules. Isomers are compounds that are made up of the same molecular formula but are constructed differently. The two basic distinctions between isomers are constitutional isomers and stereoisomers. Constitutional or structural isomers have bonds different in arrangement and number. This leads to completely different structures. For example, butane and isobutane have the same amount and types of atoms, but are bonded differently and have different structures. Stereoisomers have the same bonds and connections with different spatial arrangements. There are two types of stereoisomers, enantiomers, which mirror each other, and diastereomers, which do not mirror each other. To understand how an enantiomer works, look at both of your hands. They are constructed the exact same way with the same parts, a pinky finger, ring finger, middle finger, index, and thumb in the exact same order. But, no matter how you rotate your hands, you will not be able to get them to overlap and face the same direction. They are non-superimposable. Molecules that have two enantiomer forms are referred to as chiral. Melting points and boiling points are the same across enantiomers because the same bonds are being broken, they are just in different locations. While the physical properties of isomers may be similar, their chemical properties can vary radically. For example, isomers rotate polarized light in opposite directions.
Are isomers only created by chemists in labs? Or can some occur in nature?
Isomers are in fact commonly found throughout nature. Living systems are chiral and have a propensity to work with only one of the two enantiomers of amino acids. Non-living producers of amino acids such as found on meteorites, contain both enantiomers of amino acids. This demonstrates how biological systems have changed to prefer only one enantiomer even though both naturally occur. One example is spearmint. It is chiral and an enantiomer to caraway, a spice. Any chef worth their salt knows that these two plants have completely different smells and tastes. They could not substitute for each other in a recipe, even though their molecules are nearly identical and have the same molecular formula. Similarly, in a living system, only one isomer may be able to serve a function because of its shape.
I am sure that is all well and good. But my chest is on fire. I don't think I can survive at this rate. Which one should I buy? Nexium or Prilosec?
Well, one issue that pharmaceuticals have to deal with is enantiomers in the drugs they produce. Like I mentioned earlier, only one enantiomer may produce the intended effect, but synthesis of a drug may lead to both enantiomers being produced. The difference between Nexium and Prilosec is that Prilosec contains both drug isomers and Nexium only contains the active isomer. The two enantiomers of a chiral drug may differ significantly in bioavailability, rate of metabolism, metabolites, excretion, potency, and selectivity. This means that dosages between the two may vary to get the right amount of active isomers. If you take a drug with both the active and inactive enantiomers, you could potentially be harming your body as the second enantiomer may be adding to the undesired effects or counteracting the effects of the active enantiomer. An extreme example of this is thalidomide. Thalidomide was a drug that was prescribed in Europe and Australia for pregnant women who experienced morning sickness. It contained two isomers, but the second seemingly inactive isomer caused a deformity in the limbs of the developing children. A challenge for chemists is to synthesize only one enantiomer, therefore avoiding the intake of the ineffective and potentially isomer. One chemical process to achieve this is through the use of a chirocatalyst, such as spartiene. This allows selectivity in which enantiomer is being produced. Drug companies can capitalize on the presence or absence of isomers by extending their patents on certain drugs. For example, citalopram, an antidepressant, contained two isomers, one inactive and one active. When their patent to make the drug expired in 2003, they created a new patent for a drug containing only the active isomer. This allowed them to extend the profitability of a blockbuster drug. This is why I recommend you take Nexium over Prilosec. It probably is better to intake only what you need.
But Nexium is almost $10 more expensive than Prilosec. That is outrageous. I need to buy two $5 fill-up meals at KFC. I cannot afford to spend that much extra.
Maybe if you didn't spend all your money on oily fried chicken fast food, you wouldn't need to buy Prilosec in the first place. Get wrecked.